It's the Marriage and Real Estate Podcast. We're your hosts, Kevin and Aisha Shelton, and we have missed these seats.
We're back from vacation.
We have missed these seats. We are back from vacation.
You want me to say I missed the seat
You don't
too?
have to say that.
I don't know if I missed the seat.
Okay. We are back from a fantastic vacation.
We are still jet lagged, so I'm Kevin tired as normal.
Oh my God. Okay.
I'm not yawning.
Not yet, and we'll take that.
We had an amazing vacation.
We had an amazing vacation. There we go. We had an amazing vacation.
The travel sucked, but the trip was amazing.
Travel sucked. Trip was amazing. We'll tell you all about it, of course.
At Horrible United.
Okay. Count your days, United Airlines.
I don't know about count your days. I doubt United's going out of business. But
count your days.
Count your days so you get more emails from us.
Count your days. We're coming for you, United Airlines.
But it was definitely a rocky travel there.
Yes.
Once we got there, it was an amazing experience. Definitely once in a lifetime vacation that we'll do more times in our lifetime.
The inaugural once in a lifetime.
It was an inaugural trip. I liked Croatia. Croatia was nice.
It was.
And
Would
I'd
you
do
do it
Paris again. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to doing Paris again for sure.
Yeah. I liked Croatia.
And Croatia is definitely on the.
It was peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the beaches they're beautiful, but they're not very beachy friendly.
They're not beachy like Caribbean or.
The water was cold. The
Yeah.
rocks were sharp. Sea urchins everywhere.
Okay, but it was beautiful.
It was picturesque.
It
It was screensaver level
It
for
was, and I enjoyed swimming in the Adriatic Sea.
I swam once
in
the entire trip.
Well.
Oh, I got in the jacuzzi. So.
Oh, you did? That's not swimming.
But it was nice. It was water.
Okay. So
maybe I swam twice.
So maybe this episode we can do like a little temper for the younger generation.
Oh, I like that.
Okay. Right? Because this past week or two, we sailed the coast of Croatia with a group of friends on a yacht. So we were yachting.
Everybody's over 40.
We were yachting in Croatia. However,
Instagram would have you think that everybody, including 18 to 25-year-olds, are yachting in Croatia, and that's not life.
Right. And even if there are younger people that are yachting in Croatia, it's
you
very
don't know
few.
what the house look like.
I would just say it's very few of them. But because we have, and my dad called me today and he was like, I like the way you said, there you go. Yeah. I like the way you said enjoying the fruits of your labor. And
did you say that?
I did. It was like a post.
Oh, did you?
And if we can age ourselves, it was a Facebook post, and on Facebook I said enjoying the fruits of our labor and the blessings from above. And it truly is the fruits of our labors to have the ability to take off for 2 weeks.
Now, I have not been on a vacation in 2 years since 2021.
Really?
Since August 2021.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
No.
When we went to Hawaii.
We went somewhere else.
We took the kids to Disney. That was not a vacation.
Not a vacation.
We went to several conferences, not vacations. I have not been on a vacation since we went to Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
And this also was the longest vacation I've ever been on in my entire life.
Entire life.
And
you survived.
I did. I don't know how.
Kevin is one of the most closed-minded people.
I'm not closed-minded. I'm closed passport. I want to stay home.
Okay, that's what I meant, closed-minded. Because you're always like, I don't like to travel. I don't like traveling that long. And
preference, I used to travel for work.
Yeah, but that's not leisurely travel.
It's the up down of the travel, not the. You were on a tangent. Keep going.
I was. Anyway.
Fruits of our labor, long vacation.
Fruits of our labor, long vacation. And Kevin slept more than I've seen him sleep in a long time.
Very good sleep.
That was much appreciated and welcomed, for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. So I'll say this. Aisha had a cockamamie idea last year in October-ish.
Is that where it came about?
It was either October or November. It wasn't like deep early fall.
I feel like it was like December.
It might have
January.
been.
It was like December, January.
I don't know about December, January because your birthday was already there. I think it was November, October, November.
Okay.
Because you had to at least have some time to set the stuff up.
Kinda.
It was definitely close.
Yeah.
So crazy idea of sailing up the coast of Croatia in a yacht, and this episode's gonna sound so pretentious.
No, it's not.
So anyway, she had this idea. She partnered with Miss LaMonica Love, our attorney. Mm-hmm. Shout outs to Miss LaMonica Love and the Love family, who partnered with Aisha on this crazy idea to do this birthday trip celebrating her 40th birthday. LaMonica also turned 40. Lots of people on the boat turned 40. So this was the vision: yachting in noir. Right. So boat full of black folks, mostly entrepreneurs, couples, everybody celebrating something, ideally a birthday, on this yacht. So started off very strong, book boat. Mm-hmm. Towards the end, when the deposits came due, we lost a few.
We did.
But we still had the majority of the boat booked, and very thankful for the cast of characters that ended up on the boat.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a good time, and it was so valuable to spend that kind of time with the people that we spent the time with, right?
Yep.
So there were people, I mean, we're real estate, that's what we do,
Yep.
but there were people in digital marketing, there are people in
Medicine.
insurance, medicine, there were,
Education.
So the level of conversation, and not only the level of conversations, but the connections
Yep.
that were made, and the snaps is like the things
Entertainment,
that are going
project
to happen.
management.
Yeah, the level up of our business. It was kind of like the talented 10th of yachting.
Which is interesting. And we definitely had a lot of talented 10th conversations on the boat. Mm-hmm. And I don't necessarily... The talented 10th conversation for black people specifically, I think, and maybe this is something that we take before another episode, but the argument that I made on the boat is it's not just the talented 10th, it's literally like the talented 10th of everybody, not just because even regular people don't yacht on, up the coast of Croatia.
That's true.
So it's not just, it's like this is the 10th of the 10th, right? Mm-hmm. And at a point, we had to recognize the fact that this isn't something that people regularly do.
Yeah.
So the conversations that we were having were skewed for the fact that we were also bathed in privilege being on the boat at all.
Well, I don't want to say, I wouldn't call it bathed in privilege, because none of us on the boat, and I'm scanning
we
the
ain't
boat,
work hard,
except for maybe save one or two people, came from like...
I don't mean privilege from birth. I mean like we're very fortunate and privileged to be in the positions that we're in across the board, even though we work very hard for it.
Agreed, but I'll also say this: it's something to what am I trying to say? You know the word. It's something to
ascend, or
it's something to shoot for, right?
Oh yeah.
So
it's aspirational.
It's aspirational. The thing about it is the only reason Croatia on a yacht even came up is because
you saw other people.
Yeah, I saw other friends of mine on a yacht in Croatia, and I'm like, hold up, what's that? I want to do it. And so we made it happen. And so for those people who saw maybe footage of us in Croatia on this yacht, like, it's aspirational. It's something that you can do too if you put the right things in place to do it. And,
that's true.
Right? And so I don't think it's like we're so fortunate that we can go. I think it's like, hey, if you see something and you want it, go get it.
I like that. That's a good way to look at that. That's true. So anything is possible, and you can have anything as long as you plan for it and figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Great conversations on the boat. I'm very excited to see what comes from it. Very excited to not only to put our minds on other people's businesses, but to have other people's minds on ours. Mm-hmm. People sometimes can see you outside of yourself, so that's really good. Thankful to have close relationships with a lot of the people on the boat. We got the time to enjoy Paris before we went on the boat. Let's talk about this loss of luggage, though.
Okay, because this travel was,
So
it was a series of bad events that I don't know
definitely
how they
trashing United this entire episode. United was trash. United Airlines was trash. United Airlines was trash.
Well, and everybody was like, United, I can't believe it, and neither can I.
As CEO of United, at United, trash this episode.
And are you trying to add on the
Definitely want to add to the board, putting the at in the notes, at United Airlines, trash.
Okay, so let's start. Let me start by saying the actual trip was phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
The travel was
trash.
atrocious.
But it was an adventure.
It was an adventure I could live without.
I agree with that.
Okay, so let's start with leaving Houston.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are a group of four, pack of four. We're all flying together. Our reservations are together. Flight delayed. Finally let us on the plane, and they pull us off the plane. They
AC go out.
mechanical. All right, so we get pulled off the plane. Now we're trying to make a connection in DC for a flight to Paris, right? So more delays, and it's at that point that we realize we're not going to make this flight to.
You do a good job of like
DC.
steamrolling all that. It's such a good story in that you.
Go ahead.
I mean, so
Spice it up.
literally, it was a fight getting on the plane in the first place.
Okay.
They had all the United people. They offering people $2,000 to not get on this plane. Bring all the people out in all the coats, all of the KFC, Mr. Rogers people and all the fancy jackets that work for United. Nobody could get on this plane. We finally get on the plane. They didn't have any seats for us. We get seats only to get booted off the plane.
Well, and let's be clear, they overbooked the plane by 12 people.
By 16 people.
And they didn't know who was on the plane.
They didn't know who was on the plane.
So I really think that's why they deplaned everybody, was because they didn't have an accurate,
Maybe.
I don't know, whatever. We get off this plane, there's delays.
Yeah. So we
Right?
get off the plane, trying to get something to eat. They keep texting us, your plane's ready. Your plane's ready. Plane is not ready.
It's not.
So we literally stopped and started at 2 different restaurants just trying to eat while we waited.
So luckily we were traveling with a United 1K member. That means something to some of y'all. And he is very astute. And so he said, we need to get on the phone. So he gets on the phone with United as soon as it's
Clear that the plane was going to
yeah,
deplane us. Yeah.
like he was like, okay, well, let me get on now. He's on hold for 3 hours
3 hours.
before he talks to an attendant, and we're trying to still make this connection to DC.
Now here's the crazy part, and I got to tell this part because I know you ain't going to do it justice.
Okay.
We think we're getting on the flight at 8. We know we're going to miss our connection. He's on the phone with United the entire time. He's also at the same time looking on his phone
Yeah.
for flights that get us to Paris. Ends up finding a Turkish Airlines flight, which is a Star Alliance member. Says, hey, can you put us on this flight, Turkish Airlines? It leaves in 20 minutes.
It's the only flight that goes from
for
Houston
2 days.
to Frankfurt for 2 days, because also she was saying, "Hey, we can't get you to Paris. We can get you to Paris, but it won't be until Thursday." We like, "Ma'am, it's Tuesday.
Exactly.
What do you mean you can't get us to Paris until Thursday?" So we're not having it. Anyway, he finds a way to get us on this Turkish Airlines flight.
No. It didn't happen till he was working on getting us on the Turkish Airlines.
We traversed through United Airport on a train.
Through several terminals.
Okay,
Through
through a
2
few
terminals.
We get to the desk, and he asked the attendant, like, stay on the phone with me until we get on this plane, right?
Line full of people.
He rushes past people
Line full of people waiting,
Gets to the
yelling,
desk
screaming.
and says, and mind you, the airport is in an uproar.
Skips everybody.
The airport is already in an uproar because there are people who have been waitlisted
For
or
days.
canceled for days. He walks up to the desk. He says, I'm on with an attendant. She put us on this plane.
Skips the 6 people who were in front of him.
The last thing we hear is the last 2 on this flight
The
are
only
the
people getting
Sheltons,
on this plane are the
and the
Sheltons and the
Dawkins.
Dawkins.
and we beeline into the plane.
And
all we
they
hear-
were pissed.
Yeah, all we hear is the mumbles, grumbles, groans, and curse words from the people behind us, and we boarded the plane.
To Istanbul, Turkey.
To Istanbul, Turkey, where we were not supposed to be. And it was at that point that we were like, oh my God, we are so blessed. Like, the Lord is really looking out for us. Like, how did this happen? We are God's children, okay?
And listen, the Turkish Airlines flight was not nice.
It was not.
We were in the worst parts of the plane. Thankfully, I got a little bit of leg room. My shout outs to Christopher for that. And the staff was super rude. It was all in Turkish, but we made it.
So remember, we boarded this plane like 20 minutes before it. Like we
Not even 20 minutes before.
As soon as we got on, they closed the door. It was that close. Okay, so don't forget that. That's a key part. So we get to Istanbul.
Istanbul's literally all in Turkish. We think we have time. We get some food, and then I forget who said it. I think it might have been Christopher said, "What time does our flight board again?"
Right.
And then we look up, the flight's boarding right now.
Right. So we run.
We gotta run to the gate.
Run to the gate.
Make the gate to make the connection to get to Paris.
So we make it to Paris. That's wonderful.
But then it starts. Paris is in the midst of a protest across the city. So literally, we're driving an Uber. They're setting fires on the road by us. We turn in a circle, a turnabout, and they had a motorcycle laid on the ground that they set on fire. We hear this big explosion. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm sorry to curse. What's going on? And the guy said, oh, well, they shot a kid. They shot a black kid. Mm-hmm. The cops killed a black kid in Paris. I said, we didn't come to Paris to get in any Black Lives Matter, protests. Get us the F out of here. So we drive past all the protesters and all the craziness to try to make it to our hotel, only for there to be mad construction to even get to our hotel. So we ended up getting dropped off in the middle of the street, have to walk like a mile to our hotel.
Half a mile.
Half a mile.
Half a mile to our hotel with our carry-on.
In the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night, because
at midnight
our luggage is
gone.
Still in the U.S. Okay, and so we have 4 days in Paris: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, 4 days in Paris.
Leave Saturday. Okay, so this is Tuesday.
This is Tuesday night.
Tuesday night, we're in Paris. We're hanging out, met the people, all good.
Think we're getting our luggage.
This entire time, we're waiting for our luggage to come.
Day 1. No luggage.
Yeah.
Day 2, now we're working on our second pair of clothes because we only brought enough clothes for a couple of days. Mm-hmm. Day 2, oh, we're trying to get your luggage out of the U.S. Aisha's luggage is in Florida. My luggage is in D.C. Her luggage goes to Chicago at some point.
My luggage goes from Florida to Arkansas to Chicago.
And we only know because we put air tags in our luggage.
Yeah.
So then it fastly becomes apparent that we're never going to get our luggage on the last day.
Yeah, what is this, Friday? So Thursday evening, what we realize is if we don't have our luggage now, because, right, it's a 9-hour, 14-hour flight from Houston to whatever, and then it's the flight, will it make it?
We won't
Thursday
make it.
Evening, what we realize is we need new clothes because we're not going to have anything for this trip.
So Friday, we got to spend the entire day rebuying clothes and getting luggage. We hit the mall, get clothes. Literally at the buzzer, right at the close of the mall, we're buying suitcases from this cheap suitcase place to be able to house the clothes and actually make the trip.
So if you've ever done international travel, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but if you've ever done international travel and you've seen people with their luggage wrapped in saran wrap, I never understood why until we bought our luggage out of the
cheap
country.
Luggage.
And I'm like, oh my God, this luggage is really cheap.
This luggage is going to be splayed on the tarmac.
Christopher was like, our clothes are going to be all over the tarmac if we don't get our luggage wrapped. So we definitely had to get our luggage wrapped. Now, mind you, having to buy new clothes in Paris.
Shoes, underwear, everything.
It's not the worst thing in the world. Well, maybe for
Toothbrush,
Kevin,
hair product.
you had trouble finding size 14 shoes.
Yep.
And you didn't like the underwear options.
European underwear is not very American for my American body.
That was very funny. However,
it wasn't sexy. You didn't like it.
I didn't like the underwear. No. However, my fashions were fashioning like a mug. Everybody
You
was
did
like,
really well.
I never do. I am not a shopper.
You are
at
not. That's
all.
true. You definitely rose to the occasion.
So I burnt Zara and H&M down to the ground.
Here's the crazy part. You did so good on your luggage before we left. Like, we had everything. We had these, like, packing cubes, and we had everything organized. For the first time, we were ready to go. Only for our luggage not to make it.
Y'all, it took me 3 days. Like 3 days to coordinate each outfit that I was gonna wear, right? There's like lunch, there's dinner, there's excursions,
There's match
swim
outfit
stop,
nights.
there's nude night, there's blue night, there's white night. I had all of these clothes, spent all of this money for this trip to never see any of those outfits, right? Never. I mean, I was really heartbroken because mentally it took a lot, and my pockets didn't like it very much either. Then we had to go shopping again in Paris.
Yeah.
So we're still trying to recover the funds from United because we had to buy everything brand new.
I mean, literally had to buy it. It was like double dipping. It was just not.
It truly was.
It was not cool.
And then when we finally got to Croatia, what we had decided was we were going to, because Christopher made him, put himself up as tribute. He's on the phone the entire time we're in Paris, trying to negotiate with United. And these are all the low-level people who have these one answers. They don't have any other answers. They can't solve any other problems. It's just that. And we finally decided, let's just enjoy the trip, and we'll get to it when we get home. And we asked them to send our luggage back to Houston. And we sailed. And we had a great time. Lots of great connections. Now it's time to go.
Yep.
And our flight gets canceled when we wake up.
Well, no.
When we wake up, the flights were not in our itinerary.
Oh, that's true.
Yes.
That's what happened. So, that was the night before, though.
It was.
That was the night. Yeah. So we woke up the night before we were supposed to leave, or the day before we were supposed to leave. Flights gone out of the app. Flights gone. Christopher has to book a separate flight for us to fly to try to catch our connection, which is in Germany. So now we're going to the Croatian airport already. Our flight's canceled. We're taking a separate flight. We take off in the air on that flight. They cancel the connection leg that gets us to our connection back to Houston while we're in the air. So we take off at 7:30, 8 o'clock, they cancel the flight. So we land in Dusseldorf, Germany.
We look at the flight tracker, and it says
no gate.
Gate A.
Oh, it says gate A.
There's a gate
no
A,
number.
16, 17, 22, 42, 32. Ours just says gate A.
So I go ask the lady. I said, hey, which gate number? Oh, we canceled that flight.
Right. So something about small aircrafts and bad weather, and they can't fly in the bad weather. So there is no flight.
So we say, well, is there another flight that gets us to Houston or Frankfurt or whatever?
They're all small aircraft.
They're all small aircraft. There is no flights. You can take the train, though.
You can take the train.
And I was like, hold on, what you mean?
You can take the train. So literally, to get back to Houston, we went by plane, train, and automobile.
What's that song where the girl say, any river by plane, train, automobile?
I don't know.
Anyway.
I'm sorry. I can't help you. At any rate, we had to take an Uber from the airport in Dusseldorf to the train station, take a train for, an hour and a half?
For an hour, yeah.
Dusseldorf, Germany
to Frankfurt, Germany. So we got to see Germany.
Not really.
I mean, it wasn't very beautiful.
Anyway.
Lots of graffiti. Hip-hop has traversed the world.
Okay, to get on a connecting flight from Frankfurt to Houston. And we get back home, and then we spend about 2.5 hours in the airport trying to track down our luggage that never made it.
That is true. I forgot that part.
Yeah. So that was a mess, but the trip was beautiful.
The trip was beautiful, and we did all of that to be back with you guys for another episode of Marriage and Real Estate.
Oh, okay. So pro Paris tip. I didn't get a chance to do it yet, but I'm going back, and I just got to save for it.
Okay, I want to understand.
You got to save for it. Okay, so you get, because you're not from Europe,
you get the VAT tax.
You get the tax back, right?
Oh, are you planning to bring your previous VAT tax back? Can you do that?
No, it's too late. I didn't get my VAT tax on a very expensive item, and United
You gonna
I'm
pay.
coming. I'm coming for you, okay? Very expensive item. Anyway, so apparently they have these outlets that are in designer outlets
Oh,
that
by
are in
Disney
Paris.
in Paris, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So you, all of the designer stuff that's in Paris, apparent. This is me learning. So for those of y'all that already knew, just listen. Okay, so all of the designer things are cheaper in Paris than they are in the U.S. because you get the taxes taken off of it. So in the U.S., you have the taxes tacked onto it plus our taxes. In Paris, they have their taxes tacked onto it, but then you get it back at the airport when you leave the country for VAT tax. Not only that, they have the designer outlets. Not everything is there. Like there's no Chanel outlet, there's no Dior outlet, but all the other stuff you can think of, YSL and all those things, they have an outlet for. The prices are already discounted, and then it's discounted because you get to take the tax off. So you can really like clean up in Paris on designer things. So I met a young lady on the boat who buys all her designer in Paris. She takes a trip there, and she never buys designer in the States because it's so expensive, so much more expensive, and you can just get more bang for your buck in Paris. So the next time I go to Paris, it will be very intentional with money that is designated to go shopping.
Okay. I'll take it.
Yeah, okay, cool. Y'all heard it here first. He has approved that.
And what y'all also have heard here first is our Marriage and Real Estate Conference 2023. We got tickets for sale.
Do.
marriageandrealestateconference.com. Tickets are selling. We already sold some, so we are super excited. We've locked in some amazing sponsors, so shout out to all of our sponsors for the conference 2023. We have some amazing speakers lined up and more sponsors that are some heavy hitters that we've been meeting with all week. So we're super excited about that. Super excited to just share more about some of the things that Houston is doing and the changes in construction and permitting and investing and all those fun things. I definitely will be talking about that more in the next couple of weeks. But we're excited to be back, y'all.
We are refreshed, revived.
Yep. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share to all your friends. If you are married, marriage-minded, or hopeful, go ahead and follow the Marriage and Real Estate Podcast, where we are your source for financial information, real estate information, investment information. So we're excited.
Perfect. This has been the Marriage and Real Estate Podcast.
We out.